I see that.
Okay, why do you believe that sending a text message about a splinter or piece of pencil was something urgent enough that you could do it by text message as opposed to following the communication protocol?
I think we all know she doesn't want him to text. She says it over and over, in caps sometimes. Stop texting me. Use our family wizard.
CC and it's on the, oh, it is. I apologize. I know we just took a break. Could I take a bathroom break? Or I could maybe push it till lunch. I don't know when you guys.
Sure. We're not here to torture people. Take a break.
Thank you.
We can make it a quick one. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll be quick back and forth. Thank you.
Continue with the defendant, please. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Break, we were talking about some of the school counseling programs like Solving Eagles. Do you remember that?
Yes, I recall.
Okay, on page number 680 of Exhibit CC. Do you see under message 72 of 100, it says sent you a message, and the subject is Ellis Counseling Groups?
What number?
680?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 9/4/2023, 2:56 p.m. This message, the subject is Ellis Counseling Groups. Do you see that?
I see it.
It says Class Dojo says that invitations for counseling groups went out last week. Did you receive it in this folder? It needs to be filled out. Do you see that?
I see that.
Your response was, I don't see any physical counselor corner papers. I did receive school photos. We'll leave those in the folder so that they get to you. We both need to agree for counseling. Do you see that?
I see that.
Isn't it true that one time had previously attended the school group 4-week counseling program?
I am not certain. It's possible in the program, but I don't know.
If you were aware of the counseling program at the school and you enjoyed it, true?
I really am not sure. I know he did eventually go. I'm not sure of the date.
Going to the next page. Ms. responds to you saying we both need to agree to counseling. Well, I put the information in OFW Journal last month, so do you agree or not? Do you see that?
I see it.
You never responded to that message, correct?
I don't know. I don't know.
Go to 695, please. Take a look at the message from to you on October 14th, 2023. On the second page, question. Solving Eagles, he wants to take Featherhead Eagles or Feathered Eagles next. I'm going to email the counselor to add him to the class. Do you have any issue with that? Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay, so that was another school-related group counseling program, correct?
Yes.
And if you look at your response on October 14th, 2023, I do not want any of those school counseling programs until explicitly agreed on by both of us. I said that about the previous one too, and apparently you just put them in it anyway. Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay, do you understand the program though?
I couldn't say for certain. I would believe that he enjoyed it.
But you wouldn't agree to allow him to attend the next program, correct?
It seemed like he was going to programs anyway, and I was giving my opinion that I would rather he not go, but I wasn't gonna raise a fit about it because he was going anyway.
If you go to page 696, in the middle, in response to you saying the message we just read, do you see Ms. said, "Hi, I just asked you, unlike before, can you answer this time?" Do you see that?
I see that.
And then she said, "Classes, ask him about that." Did you see that?
I see it.
Did you ever answer and give Ms. a decision, yes or no, in terms of the Feathered Eagles counseling?
I'm not sure. The recent message that we read sounded like I was saying that I would be not in favor of the counseling programs, but again, I think he went anyway, so.
Not in favor of the counseling program, even though, as you sit here today, you believe that programs, correct?
It's possible, yeah.
Okay, we've gone over some text messages and the communication protocol. I want to go over a few more. So let's take a look at Exhibit D. And for the record, Your Honor, the exclusionary rule is invoked. I see that Dr. is in the courtroom, but I don't believe he's anticipated to testify.
He is not.
Yeah.
Turn to page 1201. We looked at this one earlier, and again, you don't find it to be a violation of the communication protocol to send a message that you believe that the girl's tights, correct?
No, I don't think so.
Go to page 1175. Do you see where you sent Ms. a text message on September 5th, 2023 that says, "I think the outlook of our case is about to change a lot. All I'm asking is that you tell the truth, but about everything ASAP. I think you have a chance to the right thing." Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay, how does that one fall within the permissible parameters of the communication protocol?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
Overruled.
Actually, not sure if I remember what I was talking about, but maybe a decision returning from the appellate courts that could change things, could be time sensitive.
Prior to that message on September 3rd, you sent Ms. a message, "This area around pointer finger is inflamed and infected, needs 2 new Band-Aids and antibiotic ointment every day. How long has it been there?" Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay, and you believe that falls within the communication protocol and you were permitted to send it outside of OFW. Why?
What's the question?
Why do you believe that that was a permissible text message when there's a communication protocol in place?
Something that needs medical treatment and information could be time sensitive if he has a cut on his finger.
Isn't it true that at that point, which was September 3rd, your care since September 3rd and would continue to be in your care until September 6th?
I'm sorry, what? But he was in my care on September 3rd. So this was the first day that he was with me, is the question?
No, my question was, had he not been in your care since September 1st? So this is
September 1st.
2 days after he was already in your care, and he would continue to be in your care for another 2 days.
I really don't know. I don't know. It would depend what day it is. We'd probably figure it out.
Go to base number 1192. You see on October 13, 2023, you sent a text message, not an OFW, that says the piece of pencil stuck in his palm.
I see it. Yes, I believe I sent it.
And Ms. Doug, I'm not there, I don't know, I wasn't aware of anything before school. If there was something worthy of telling you, I would have by now.
I see that.
And then you responded at your place, that's why I'm asking. You see that?
Yes.
And this, you knew he had something in his palm, yet you asked me, sounds like a splinter, no reason to text me unless you're trying to, quote, memorialize, end quote, that my house has dangerous pencils. Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay, why do you believe that sending a text message about a splinter or piece of pencil was something urgent enough that you could do it by text message as opposed to following the communication protocol?
I think it's okay to ask about a medical injury that may require care depending on how long it's been there. And I also don't think it's accusatory of dangerous pencils.
Go to base number 1255, please. See on March 26, 2024 at 8:15 a.m., you sent me a text message, milligrams, cetrazine at 7:55 a.m. today.
I see that.
Okay, why was that permissible under the communication protocol?
It's time sensitive and it could be important. I could give some examples, but if he had an issue at school and needed to take the same medicine and he was only allowed to take a certain amount in a 24-hour period and I wasn't reachable. Again, I think it's pretty innocuous to just say how much medicine he took at what time.
And you understand that this text message communication from you, that's why there's a communication protocol, correct?
I don't know if that's why there's a communication protocol.
But you do understand that she doesn't want text message communication from you unless it falls within the express terms of the communication protocol, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation. He can't know what she likes, wants, feels.
Mr. Leavitt, we've already read many times in these text messages her telling him, stop texting me. I think we all know she doesn't want him to text. She says it over and over, in caps sometimes, stop texting me. Use our family wizard.
Objection overruled, Your Honor.
Overruled, yes.
Thank you. You can answer the question.
Okay, so the question again?
I wish I could ask the court reporter to read it back. You send text messages to Ms. even though you know that she doesn't want to be sent text messages and wants you to follow the communication protocol.
As far as I know, the communication protocol would allow for something like this.
You
And I
see
think
the next
communication
response
is
from
time
Ms.
sensitive and important.
You see the next response from Ms. Stop texting me this stuff. I don't pick him up today. You see that?
I see that.
So it's not even as though you're concerned that when Ms. was up, she might give him more cetrizine, and therefore she had to know that he already took 4 milligrams that day. She wasn't even picking him up that day, correct?
The question is, was she picking him up that day?
Sure.
I don't know, but
She represented to you that she wasn't, correct?
Correct, but the information could still be important.
Do you recall there was a time where Ms. a motion for permission for you to be able to go on a school field trip to Disneyland?
I recall, yes.
Okay, you were refusing to sign the consent form for a school trip to Disneyland, correct?
I think what I said was that I would sign it if either I or Ms.
Okay, so you wouldn't sign the form unless, assuming that Ms. chaperone, you wouldn't sign the form unless you could chaperone the school class to Disneyland, correct?
That was my position at that point. Yes, yes.
Okay, did you ask you after the court ordered that you could go on the trip, that you did enjoy the trip?
Yes,
Okay, and that was as a result of Ms. order saying that trip, correct?
in part, I suppose, yes.
Okay, Ms. correct?
Yes,
She sought reimbursement from you on OFW and you refused, correct?
I think what I said is that if I'm ordered to pay reimbursement and I just don't realize it, then please tell me and I'll reimburse it.
Okay, you know there's an order that you're supposed to split extracurricular activity, correct?
I think the extracurricular activity split is whatever each parent wants to do on his or her own time.
Okay, what about school activity? You're
That parent pays for.
supposed to split 50-50 for school activity, correct?
I don't really know.
You don't know if there's a court order that says you're supposed to split school-related activity expenses 50-50?
Objection, Your Honor, mischaracterizes the evidence. The order says that they split what they agree to.
No, that's extracurricular. This is different.
Overrule it, you can answer if you know the answer.
Sorry, the question again?
Is there a court order that says you and Ms. are supposed to split school-related activity expenses 50-50?
I honestly don't really know, but as far as I know, anything that is like school supplies, stuff that's actually needed for school itself, I actually pay for it. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a court order that says that.
Okay, take a look at exhibit number 46, please. Do you recognize this to be a printout of OFW messages? Like an inbox?
Yeah, it looks like a screenshot of our Family Wizard messages.
Okay, so the ones where there's an arrow over the square, that means that you replied to Ms. correct?
I don't actually know, but I don't know. I don't.
Okay, do you remember testifying at deposition that the ones where there was no arrow were because you didn't respond to them?
I don't recall.
Take a look at the first page, assuming that my characterization is correct. There were 4 messages that Ms. didn't respond to, correct?
Again, objection, Your Honor. Foundation, this is not a stipulated to exhibit, and counsel's testifying as to what it actually says.
I'll get the testimony from my client, Your Honor, so I'm asking him to make that assumption. It's a proper hypothetical. So my question was, assuming that my characterization is correct, that no arrow means you didn't respond to the message. On the first page of this document, there are 4 messages you didn't respond to, correct?
I guess so. I'm not sure. I can't tell if the messages are from me with no response or from her with no response. I can't tell. But the hypothetical, there are 4 boxes with no arrows above them. Yeah. I don't know if that answers the question.
Let's go back to Exhibit CC. We'll go to page 1127, please.
Sorry, the page number again?
1127. What was the number? 1127.
Is it DD?
CC.
DD.
Sorry. DD.
Okay. Exhibit DD 1127.
Correct.
Yes.
Do you see on May 9th, 2023, you sent a text message, not an OFW, to Ms. that says, "Good news, today is your day. I've set aside the next hour and a half to arrange payment for the evidentiary hearing order and go through the expenses on the OFW ledger." Do you see that?
I see it.
Okay. And you believe that that was a permissible communication by text message, notwithstanding the communication protocol?
I probably should not have said it like that.
And the evidentiary hearing order you were referring to was the order where you were ordered to pay Ms. fees for having brought a motion, correct?
No, I don't. I'm not sure. I recall it being $500 in attorney's fees.
But is that what you were referring to, arranged payment for the evidentiary hearing order?
Yes, I think so.
Can you go to Exhibit 52, please?
What is it?
5-2.
I see it.
Okay, you recognize this to be an expense ledger from OFW?
I believe so.
And do you see on this page, there are open invoices from August 1st, 2023, July 28th, 2023, 2 from that date, July 7th, 2023, June 15th, 2023, May 30th, 2023, and May 8th, 2023?
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation. This document is not admitted. It's not a complete record, and counsel cannot refer to it and discuss it and read it into the record. This is the same problem we were having earlier in the morning.
We already testified that he recognized this to be an OFW expense ledger, so I'll move to admit.
Any objection?
Yeah, again, it's not a complete record, and I don't believe that he's laid a foundation as to what the document actually says.
Well, I was trying, and then I got interrupted by an objection.
A valid one.
All right, I'll let you lay more foundation for it.
Thank you. you do recognize, I just went through the dates that these showed that there were open status expense requests, correct?
Open status filtered by the OSU.
Okay.
I don't see a date on it.
You see on the left-hand column, it says created August 1st, 23, July 28, 23. You see what I'm referring to?
I see that that's a list of the date the expenses were created, right?
And then it shows under expense name purchase, for example, the atropine eye drops, August 1st, 23. The embryo storage, or something embryo, July 28, 23. Or embryo, July 28, 23. Eyeglasses, July 7, 23. Do you see all those dates?
I see all those.
And you do recognize that these were requests on the part of Ms. reimbursed for expenses through OFW, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, move to admit Exhibit 52.
Any objection now?
No.
Exhibit 52 will be admitted.
Do you see on the left-hand column it says owes you $1,215.91?
I see that.
That owes $174.90.
I see that.
Okay, these requests for reimbursement were open for many months, correct?
I don't know.
Well, if you think about it, if the bottom one is May of 23 and the top one is August of 23, that's almost 3 months, right?
Yes.
Take a look at Exhibit 54.
Sorry, the number again?
54? Do you recognize Exhibit 54 to be an OFW message from to you dated August 9th, 2023?
I mean, I didn't generate it. I don't know if I recognize it, but I see that title at the top, yes.
Okay, are you disputing that this is in fact an OFW message from Gina Fiore to you dated August 9th, 2023?
I don't know.
You don't know if this is an OFW message?
It
Let
appears
me
to
ask
be.
you this, what in this message causes you to even speculate or have a scintilla of concern that it might not be authentic?
Past evidence.
Okay, so that's it?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember receiving a message from Ms. Fiore saying that she wanted Pinecrest Indoor Basketball League?
No, not really, no.
Courts and documents, right? Take a look at the next page. August 13th, 2023, sorry, August 12th, 2023. Do you see Ms. message? Under questions, I asked about basketball previously. Do you have a response? Do you see that?
Yes, I see that.
Okay, so the first page was August 9th, asking about basketball league. The second page is August 12th, saying, I asked about basketball previously, do you have a response? Do you see that?
I see that.
The next page of this exhibit is an OFW message from February 6, 23 from Gina says, hi, I asked you many, many times if you want to
Again,
participate.
objection, Your Honor.
These are in your exhibits, they're admitted into evidence.
Best evidence, then use them. You're cherry picking.
Wow, okay, so I'll use all 1,000 pages of OFW messages.
You have
I'm allowed to
previously,
cherry
why
pick.
not?
I'm allowed to cherry pick. You can examine your client.
Okay. What page are you going to?
I'm on my exhibit number 54, base number 2026, which I will note when I disclose this in discovery, there was no objection.
Okay, and what question, what are you asking?
I'm asking him. if
He's
Mr.
reading it into the records, what he's doing.
Did Mr. do a message on February 6, 2023, saying, I asked you many, many times if you want to participate in Little League on your time, he signed up regardless, do you have an answer?
The question is that what it says on this paper?
Did Mr. send you that message?
I don't know. I mean, I don't recall. I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to say. I can tell you what the header of the paper says. I don't know. I didn't produce this.
Let's go back to exhibit CC. Page number 1303. Sorry, that's DD. Do you see on September 2nd, 2024, a text message, an email was just sent that you were CC'd on the schedule? I'm going to try and change the team tomorrow. FYI, I already contacted the coach.
Looking for what the base number again?
1303.
Okay, I have 1303. Sorry,
Okay.
question.
This email was just sent that you were CC'd on with schedule. I'm going to try and change the team tomorrow. FYI, I've already contacted the coach. Do you see that?
I see that.
And then she sent you another message. The next day, soccer is unable to change, so his practices with the Ghostbusters are on Mondays. It's only 2 months. Last game, November 9th. I can pick him up a few Mondays and bring him, and you can take him home from soccer practice, but I can't do every Monday. Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay, Monday is your custodial day, correct?
Yes.
Isn't it true that Ms. sending you these messages because she was concerned, or you understood her to be concerned, that you would not take for practice?
I don't know. I mean, yes.
Your response. You make messes, then you panic, then I clean them up. I don't know if I can do all the soccer days. No, I can't commit to this minute with no notice, but obviously I'm going to do whatever I can so participate. Do you see that?
That's not the entire response.
Okay, what I read was correct, wasn't it?
I'm not ignoring you. I was sleeping, and it had been 6 hours total. I responded to the question about October 4th through 6th a week ago, and responded again. There aren't any other questions here. And then
the part about the soccer, which is what I was asking you questions about, correct?
yes,
Do you understand how difficult it is for Ms. to be able to participate in team sports when you refuse to take him to practices?
Objection calls for speculation.
I don't refuse to take them to practices.
How many soccer practices have you taken him to when was the last time you played soccer?
When was the last time you played soccer?
Yeah, you played this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many practices did you take him
I could give you a percentage, at least 90%.
to? So you missed 10% of the practices during your custodial time?
There were some dates that Miss picked him up from school and brought him to soccer. So I don't know if that counts as me bringing him to soccer, but I would then go to the practice itself.
What
So
about
if you include that number, 95 to 100% of practice.
What about games?
How many of the games did I bring him to?
Did you miss during your custodial time?
I think I missed 1 out of 20 to 24 games.
Isn't it true that you didn't even download the app from the league that tells you where the practices are and where the games are?
No?
Do you remember there being a problem recently where you were supposed to pick soccer practice and claimed that you didn't even know where it was?
Yes. In September, I don't know if that's recent, but yes.
Go to base number 821 of Exhibit CC, please. You see on August 31st, 2024, Ms. you an OFW message that starts off with, I forwarded you to your email on August 27, a multi-page soccer email. It has season information. I also sent you an invite to his account in the Sports Engine app screenshot below. You have not accepted the invite. He is assigned a team and coach this week, who will then assign practice times, and the tentative first game is September 21st. I took him shopping for all of his soccer equipment, and he is very, in capitals, excited. You see that?
I see that.
Okay. And then one of the questions, the third one was, are you going to accept the soccer app invite? Do you see that?
I see that.
And then on September 3rd, you responded to the email for the OFW. And in the third, you said, I didn't see the soccer email. I don't know which email you're talking about sending it to unless it's an OFW. Just put everything like that in OFW or text message if time sensitive. I am assuming I will accept the soccer app invite if I see it. Do you see that?
Yes.
Isn't it true that the soccer app invite came from the soccer app itself? It wasn't misviewed to you, correct?
I don't know.
And the soccer app can't send you an email or a message through OFW, to your knowledge, correct?
You can definitely copy a link to it.
That wasn't my question.
Okay, so restate the
If
question.
you're signing up for an app and it says, what's your email address, you can't give it OFW. Wouldn't work, would it?
I really don't know.
Go to page number 1305. That's exhibit DD.
I see it.
Do you see on 9/6/24, you sent this, is there soccer after school this Monday? And if so, are you picking up from school this Monday? Do you see that?
I see that.
Okay, normally you would pick school on Monday, correct?
Yes.
So this was your request that if there's a soccer practice, you expected that Ms. taking Nick to it, correct?
I was asking if she was.
And historically, routinely, is Ms. soccer practice even if it's during your custodial time?
No.
On Mondays?
Correct.
So on Mondays, historically, even though it's your custodial time, it takes soccer practice.
On Mondays, historically, I bring to 90 to 100% of the soccer practices, and mom brings him, I would say about 10% of the time.
You see your response, I will pick him up from school 9:09 and bring him to practice. So, sorry, this is Mr. response. I will pick him up from school 9:09 and bring him to practice. It's over at 6. I've sent you an invite through the soccer app with all the info 3 times. Do you see that?
I see that.
On September 7th, you sent page 1306.
I see it.
On September 7th, you sent Ms. a text message, okay for 9:09. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that was referring to you would pick after the soccer practice, correct?
I think it was confirming that. One second. Yeah, I think it was confirming that I would pick him up, or sorry, that Ms. would take him to the practice and I would pick him up.
And then on 9/9 at 3:55 p.m., you send a message, where is the practice today? Address, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, but it's your testimony that you took 90% of the practices, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then Ms. response was you have an invite to the app with the details and got an email with the details. You don't get to text me at will, figure it out. Do you see that?
I see that.
And then you said, not clicking on your apps and links, put a screenshot of a schedule in OFW and I can go from that, then I don't have to text you. Correct?
Yes.
You then said, before 5 p.m., I need to know where I'm supposed to pick up today. If you don't want to tell me, just drop it at my house after the practice. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Ms. tells you, listen, the coach emailed you with all the details. I can see he did on the group email. I forwarded you an email. I'm not doing admin work for you. You've been disrupting my time weekly for years. There's a parental app for parents. You figure it out. You see that?
I see that.
Okay, you didn't end up picking practice, did you?
No.
And you understood that you didn't pick him up from the practice, correct?
Yes.
With you from practice, upset that you hadn't picked him up? Sorry, from Ms. after the practice you didn't pick him up from?
I believe so.
Okay, and he was extremely emotional, was he not?
Yes.
Like hysterical.
Very upset.
And you still didn't pick him up, did you?
No. At that point, I wasn't asked to pick him up, as far as I'm aware.
Do you recall a point in time where you had agreed that Ms. would have your custodial Mondays?
Point in time where I had agreed with custodial Mondays. I remember proposing something like that, but I don't remember agreeing to that.
Take a look at base number 559 of exhibit CC, please.
I see 5-5.
Do you see where you sent a message, sorry, Ms. sent you a message saying, take Mondays as in a full extra custodial day night till Tuesday morning or 3:30, or Mondays to pick up and drive them to flip for me for you. Do you see that?
I see that.
And that was her responding to your message when you said, when will you be available to take some Mondays of custody, correct?
Yes.
You then told on December 9, 2022, case number 560, I prefer exchanging through Flip for Me on Mondays, full extra custodial day, if that's not an option for you, right?
I see that.
So you told her that if she wasn't agreeing to exchange for me on Mondays, then she could have a full extra custodial day, meaning she could keep through Tuesday, correct?
As long as the Flip for Me gymnastics was going, that was my point, yes.
Go to page 565, please. Then says to you on December 15, 2022, if I take all Mondays as a custodial day, meaning I have nights and you pick them up Tuesday, either from school or Tuesday at the house at 3:30, then she had a list, I need you to agree to continue to split the cost of Ninja and Flip for Me evenly and other things, correct?
Well, I mean, there are other things on the page. It doesn't say the words other things, but yes, that's on the page.
And on page 566 at the top, it says yes to all three, not maybe, not we'll see, and I will gladly start taking all Mondays after winter break. Do you see that? And we can update the custodial order to reflect that. Do you see that?
Yes, I see that.
Ultimately, you did not agree that Ms. Fiore could have the Monday custodial days by way of a court order, correct?
Correct.
Was there an incident at your home recently where you believed that you heard gunshots?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and you sequestered your bedroom and went through your house with a firearm?
I don't know if I would say I sequestered him, but he was in the bedroom. And I tried to make sure that he didn't realize really what was going on.
Okay, and then you went through the house with a firearm?
Yes.
Did you call the police?
Police seem to be on the scene already.
Okay. Did you call security for your community?
I don't remember.
You have security in your community, correct?
I do.
Take a look at Exhibit 62, please. Do you have a social media screen name or handle of at?
Exhibit 62 and the question?
Do you have a social media screen name of at?
Yes.
Did you post the response to a message that says of all things?
Objection, Your Honor. Again, objection. Counsel is reading this into the record and is not admitted.
laying a foundation for admission.
You can't use the document itself and the language within it to do that.
You just need to ask him, did you post this message, sir?
I believe in part.
The
Yes.
top part is something that you wrote, correct?
I believe so.
And Your Honor, I move to admit Exhibit 62.
Any objection?
Yeah, relevance. This doesn't have anything to do with child custody. It's basically a smear of him and his particular First Amendment opinions about the legal system. It has nothing to do with this minor child.
Your Honor, it goes to his inability to co-parent, inability to comply with court orders. It goes to his belief of the court system.
I agree that's not relevant, so we're not gonna admit it.
Can you go to Exhibit 68, please?
I don't have 68. I've got 69, and the last one in this book is 67.
It was in the, should be in the original. I might have an extra that you can use for that. It's his FDM.
Oh. Okay.
Do you recognize this document to be your financial disclosure form?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, and on the second page, as of April 18, 2025, your gross year-to-date pay was $3,500, sorry, $3,587.50.
Don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but that sounds approximate.
Well, that's what you wrote in this declaration, correct?
Yes,
Your employment is part-time teaching music lessons?
mostly yes.
And what was your income for the tax year of 2024?
I don't think I filed yet, but $20,000, I'm estimating.
You recall at your deposition testifying that it was $9,000 from teaching music part-time and then an additional $3,000 from doing performances?
Okay, so it's $12,000?
I'm asking you, I'm not testifying for you. Does that sound right? That last year your income was $12,000?
It could be correct.
Consistent with having made $3,500 in a 3.5-month period of time, right?
Yes,
Okay, so if you, from January 1st to April 18th is approximately 3.5 months. You made approximately $3,500. You make about $1,000 a month, correct?
give or take, yes,
Have you ever thought about getting a full-time job?
yes.
What have you done to pursue full-time employment in the last 3 years?
Expanded my music teaching work as much as I can, as time allows. I previously took on computer programming work, but recently I haven't had the ability to do much else other than that.
What type of full-time employment, other than trying to do more music teaching, have you sought in the last 3 years?
More in the computer programming area.
You applied for a job?
No, I accept clients as the freelance work.
It's more part-time work,
Yes,
and you haven't done that.
or sorry, maybe not that. if it were to extend longer periods, I would definitely do it as long as I had the time.
Okay, have you pursued actual employment separate from music or computer consulting in the last 3 years? Have you applied for a job?
Other than music employment and computer consulting?
Other than your music employment that generates $1,000 a month and your computer consulting, which you haven't done at least in 2025, have you actually applied for a job?
No, I don't think so.
In fact, your declaration says that your commission or tips, which is your source of income, is approximately $1,007 a month, correct?
Yes.
Let's go to your expenses on page 4. First of all, you do not own your home, do you?
No.
Do you have a rental agreement for your home?
Yes.
How much is your monthly rent?
I think like $2,200.
Right. And that was not listed on this page 4 of 8, correct?
Yeah, I don't pay the rent, so no.
Okay, but that is an expense that you have, correct?
I don't know. Yeah, yes.
You see there's an entry on this form that says mortgage/rent/lease?
Yes,
Okay, so you didn't put anything in there, correct?
correct.
Did you say it was $2,100 a month?
Something like that, something between 2,000 and 2,400, I think.
Do you know who owns the home that you're renting?
Objection relevance.
I don't know the homeowners personally.
Is the rental agreement in your name or in a family member's name?
It's in my name.
Your parents support you in terms of they pay their rent, correct?
Mostly, yes.
Well, if it's not your parents, who else is it?
No, it's my parents, yes.
So your total monthly expenses as listed on this FDF were $2,127. If you add the rent of $2,100 to $2,400, you're at $4,227 to $4,527 a month in expenses, correct?
Yes,
And that leaves, after your $1,000 that you earn, $3,500 a month in expenses that exceed your income, correct?
approximately, yes.
And your parents provide you with those funds, correct?
They'll pay the expenses directly or occasionally help out, yes.
And do you have an explanation as to why you have not sought other employment than teaching music or computer consulting?
Yes,
What is it?
I think it's more valuable to spend the time with while I'm able to. And there's an extensive amount of running around to take care of things, to make sure, working on this case and documenting things constantly takes quite a bit of time. And the drive to school takes quite a bit of time. And honestly, I'd rather spend the time with and making sure, absolutely sure, that all of his needs are taken care of while I have the ability to do that.
And what about the 50% of the time that you don't have Nicholas in your custody?
I tried to work as much as possible.
But you've never actually sought employment from the company, correct?
Mostly correct. At one point, I was working as a a legal writer for a person. I was hoping that that would develop into more employment, but it didn't.
Have you ever sought employment where you could work from home during the time frames where you don't have Nicholas in your care?
Yes, yes.
What did you seek and when?
It's computer programming.
I'm not talking about consulting. I'm talking about actually being employed by someone, not a 1099.
I'm not sure the difference.
For example, working for a call center where you could work from home answering phones as customer service for Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom's, Best Buy, something like that, where you could work from home during your non-custodial periods of time. Have you ever applied for any such type of employment?
Not other than when I was paid to do things on a daily basis, like the computer programming stuff.
When was the last time you earned income from computer programming?
The last time I earned substantial income was from computer programming was early 2023.
Early 2023, so over 2 years ago.
Yes, but I did also work for 2024 in the same way, but received no income. Because the work was on speculation.
Court's indulgence. I have no further questions at this time.
Right, do you have any questions for your client at this time?
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm going to direct examine him now.
Okay, perfect.
Is this good time for the bathroom break?
Sure.
Bathroom.
Yep. Mr. Leavitt?
Sir, how long have you been a resident of Clark County, Nevada?
Approximately 14 years, 13 years.
Where do you currently reside? What's your address?
Avenue, Las Vegas, 89148.
And who resides in your home?
I do, our son, including pets or no?
Sure.
Jeannie and Jakey.
And those are,
Dogs, sorry. 2 dogs, 2 humans.
is it true that you and Miss were never married?
Yes,
However, you do have one child in common.
yes,
And that child is the subject of the custody action today, is that correct?
yes.
Aside from your son, his name is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Aside from your son, is there any other genetic material currently in existence between yourself and Miss?
An interesting way to ask the question, but yes, we have, I think 2 or 3 embryos frozen, and I think in the same container are Miss Fiori's eggs, as far as I know.
Okay. And what is it you want the court to do with regard to those? Are they frozen embryos?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm just going to object on relevancy grounds, not an issue in this hearing.
Mr. Leavitt?
I'll move on, Your Honor.
Huh?
I'll move on.
I mean, I understand that the issue, because I did the first trial. If you were asking me to change what's in that order, you would have to give notice to the other side.
I get it.
That was on the table. So, all right.
I just am interested to know what he wants to do with them, and
You can talk to him after court.
sure. What is
September 22nd, 2015.
so he's how old today?
It's 9.
And you are on certificate, is that correct?
Yes,
So there's no dispute you are in fact his father.
yes,
And when you were, when you were born, were you and Mr. together at that time?
yes.
And how long did Mr. with you?
In different locations, but approximately 6 years, 6 years, I think.
Okay, so when did you and Miss cease residing together under the same roof?
My recollection is late 2018, like fall of 2018.
So it's a fair characterization to say that you both separated around that time, is that correct?
Yes,
And prior to Miss motion to modify custody, what was the physical custody schedule that you and Miss at that time?
prior to the one in 2019 or prior to the one that we're litigating today?
Prior to her motion to modify custody, what was the physical custody schedule that you guys were utilizing?
We were utilizing joint physical and joint legal custody. Physical custody was on a 5-2-2-5 schedule with some holiday switches.
So is it a fair characterization to say that you guys were equally sharing custody of your son?
Yes,
What custody schedule are you requesting this court to adopt as its final custody schedule concerning?
Your Honor, just going to object. The defendant doesn't have a motion pending.
But you do.
I mean, technically, you're right, there is no countermeasure to change it, so I either grant plaintiff's relief as all of it or some of it, or it stays the same. But he's not made a request even to change the schedule. Again, it's a matter of notice and opportunity to be heard on that issue, so I don't know.
I'll rephrase the question. Mr. Brofman, what do you think is the most fair schedule that the court adopts as its final order?
I'm just going to object to the extent that it's anything less than what Ms. Fiore currently has, it would be inappropriate.
I understand, I'm gonna let him answer the question though.
at this point, I think it's best that the current schedule and custodial arrangements stay in place.
So you don't want the court to change the current custodial orders at all, is that what you're saying?
No.
What are you saying?
Oh, I apologize, yeah. I am saying that I do not want the court to change the custodial orders at all.
Do you believe that that schedule that you and Mr. utilize is in your son's best interest?
Yes,
In your opinion, has Ms. undermined you as a co-parent?
yes.
How?
Especially in decision-making, I don't think I'm able to even give my opinion on what extracurriculars, school, or anything that he should do. I feel like I have no decision-making at all, other than to execute what Ms. dictates that I do. She's also made it quite difficult to operate my own life in a way that I could continue to live in Las Vegas and have a relationship, and also for to have a relationship with my immediate family.
Okay, would you flip to Exhibit CC in CC, Bates page number 382, Book 2 of 4. Bates page 382 _1. To your knowledge, has Miss asked and didn't talk to you about it?
Sorry, once, yes,
Did you get to that Bates page number 382 _1?
okay. Yes.
About 3/4 from the top of the page, the paragraph starts, "I signed up for." Do you see that?
Yes,
Who is this message from?
from,
To who?
to me.
Would you read that paragraph, please?
I signed up for a wait list with Synthesis Online cohorts. It's a once-a-week STEM Zoom. It's the school Elon Musk created. I'll add the fee in the register for you to contribute.
Did Ms. ask you before she signed up for the Synthesis Online cohorts?
I don't recall.
Did she ask you to pay half of the Synthesis Online cohorts?
Yes,
Did you agree to do that?
I'm not sure if I agreed to, but if it was something that he did, I believe I'd pay half.
But as we sit here today, you don't know whether she talked to you about it first or whether she just signed him up. You don't know.
Correct.
Would you flip to Bates page 760, please?
Sorry, can you say that number again, please?
760_1. To your knowledge, does Miss assist his homework?
It's tough to tell. I know that sometimes she disapproves of the handwriting and erases it and tells him to redo it. I don't know if that's assistance. Also, at one point, I remember her telling me something to the effect that homework, that her time was not for homework.
Has she ever told you that par homework at your house?
Yes,
Would you read near the top of the page, it says point 1, he's not falling behind. Will you read that paragraph? And by the way, who's this message from?
this is from to me.
Will you read that paragraph starting with 1
This is
period, he's not falling behind?
1, he's not falling behind. He's doing subpar homework at your house that I have to take the time to correct with him on top of everything else. I'm attaching last week's here. The writing isn't legible and he's not answering incomplete sentences. It's awful. I'd rather he do less and do it well. I've said this before, do less work and do it well. I don't like that he gets A's and open quote super close quote marks on his grades, school work, and tests when he answers right but spells wrong, and it's up to his parents to compensate at home.
in your opinion, is Miss critical of you and how you assist your son with his homework?
Yes.
How'd that make you feel?
Undermined. I mean, honestly frustrated because on our custodial days to and from school, we have very little time to do anything. Like on Monday, we have a 35-minute drive to school. Then I bring him to soccer practice at school. I pick him up from school at 3:11. Then we wait or do something in the area until 5. Soccer practice goes till 6:30. And we get home maybe by, 7:15, and we don't have a lot of time to do the homework and the reading or any of that. And I make sure that he does it every single day, and I take a picture of it. And that also is the amount of time that takes is a lot. That's all I can say. It's a lot. That we get it done is kind of amazing to me, and that's a testament to Nick too.
Okay. Do you believe, or rather, do you try to cooperate with Miss when it comes to?
I think I tried, yes.
Okay. Would you flip to Bates page 764_1? Are you there?
I'm there, yes.
So, message 81 of 100, dated February 29th, 24 at 9:57 p.m. Do you see that?
9:57 p.m. Yes, I see it.
So, starting with, and then it says N/A, presumptively that's not applicable. Will you read that paragraph, please?
This is a weekly comm from me to, this is response requested, :1. I would like something different for next school year. How about the synthesis school you suggested before?
Okay. And what was her response?
She said, I refuse to allow to be homeschooled. I will not entertain this conversation.
So, would you say it's a fair characterization that Miss to you, how things are going to go with?
Yes, definitely.
How does that make you feel?
Honestly, helpless. Like I just started thinking that I should just give in. And even offering my opinion is met with like some serious venom from Miss. I don't even, at some point I didn't even know what to do, so I try to keep the responses short, and it's almost been better to communicate less and for me to not opine anything that would interfere with her opinions or her time or anything.
Do you believe that such conduct and words like that encourage the co-parenting relationship and a work environment with her that is capable of acting in your son's best interest?
It's definitely not helpful. I mean, I guess if you're referring to the words like this, it's also bizarre to me that I'm now offering a suggestion that Ms. interested in before, but now that it's come from me, it seems like she just refuses it without a second thought.
Is that common practice in your co-parenting relationship?
I would say it's at least 95% of the time.
Do you have any other examples?
All of the doctors, school choices.
How about you flip to Bates page 786_1?
I see it.
There's a message 11 of 100 dated 4/12/24 at 4:15 p.m. Do you see that?
I see it.
And will you read that paragraph, please?
The whole message in message 11.
Yes.
I'm going to do my best to work around the constraints of a FaceTime schedule that does not match up with his activities. The fact that you won't change it, considering why it should be changed, is asinine. But this message is from me.
That's right. And the next one? The next paragraph?
If you're asking me, then no, I don't agree for at any other school than Ellis or Pinecrest Sloan. 3, no. I will address the school issue in a separate chain outside of once a week, if not less, responses. And I guess the question number 2 was I asked you agree to let me apply schools. And 3, I said, will you give us a task to determine if homeschooling will work? Like give us the entirety of 4th or 5th grade math to learn over the summer. And if you do it, you'll agree that homeschooling works. And she said he can only go to Ellis or Sloan, and just said no.
So is it common practice, whatever cliche you want to use, that it's her way or the highway?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Again, frustrated, upset.
Do you believe that that sort of conduct and dictatorial language encourages the co-parenting relationship?
No. No.
Why?
I think that it takes at least 2 people to raise a child and help a child, and for both people to have input and in some ways balance each other out. And it's just not, it's not possible in this case, or it feels like it's impossible to the point where I don't know. I mean, I've stopped believing that I can even suggest any.
Would you flip to Bates page 1303_1 in DD? DD. 1303_1. So, are you on that page, sir? Oh no, did the book break apart?
No. DD, correct?
Are you there?
I'm in DD. What was the Bates?
1303_1. 1303_1.
I see it.
So these messages relate to a discussion that we've already gone over today about soccer. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And again, starting at the top of the page, well, let me ask you this question. You were asked today about messages that you sent through text messages versus Our Family Wizard. Do you remember that?
Yes.
On this day, starting at the top at 9/2/24 at 9:06 p.m., who started this conversation? And this is in text message, right? Not Our Family Wizard?
Yes.
So, would it be a fair characterization to say that she can message you in text message whenever she wants, and then demands that you message in Our Family Wizard when it doesn't suit her?
The object mischaracterizes the evidence.
Definitely. In my opinion, I haven't counted the messages, but I think text messages me extensively. And then if I respond, she just shuts it down and says, don't text me.
But she starts it oftentimes.
Yes, at least in this instance, for sure.
Do you find it disingenuous that she wants to hammer you about communicating via text message when she starts it herself?
Yes.
Okay. Which part? Okay, so the message dated 9/3/24 at 12:41 p.m. starting, soccer is unable to change. Do you see that?
Yes.
And we've read or gone over this a couple of times, but is it a fair characterization to say that she told you how this was going to happen? She didn't ask your opinion about it?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Or at least she asked about soccer, and I said, I really couldn't tell you on the spot. But Miss scheduled the soccer, all this stuff unilaterally.
So are you saying that the Monday schedule for soccer, is that your custodial day or not?
Yes, it's my custodial.
Did she talk to you before she scheduled soccer on your day?
No.
She just did that unilaterally.
Yes.
Is that common practice by Miss?
Yes.
Do you have any other examples of things that she's done where she unilaterally signs and doesn't talk to you first?
Soccer is a big one. He did gymnastics on Monday for a while, and she just enrolled him, and then I agreed to try to make it work. And my recollection actually is that I paid 100% of it because she said it was on Monday, which is my custodial day, after she had scheduled it on a Monday herself. The question was other instances where Ms. schedules things unilaterally?
One more time, I'm sorry.
I can't remember if the question was, are there instances where Ms.
Yeah, can you think of any examples?
Yes.
You talked about gymnastics, you talked about soccer.
Yeah.
Baseball?
Every doctor's appointment. Baseball, yes, baseball for sure. Yes, baseball was another situation where Ms. scheduled it unilaterally, and it involved a big chunk of my custodial time. I said I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it, but in the end, I brought, I think, every single game and practice, including optional practices.
So the message dated 9/3/24 at 2:35 p.m., starting with, you know you need to. Will you read that paragraph and the one below it too? It's the message on the bottom of the page of 1303.
She says, you know you need to answer weekly comms the next day, right? Read the order, then read it again, then have someone else read it to you. And no notice? I've been asking you for months about soccer, zero response, nothing. It's documented. Now I'm telling you it's Mondays, and just like Little League, you're wishy-washy whether he can go with you. You are a failure as a father. Practice is Monday. You've got an invite to the app, and you've been emailed the soccer email with links twice now, which is allowed by the court. Figure it out.
She didn't ask you about this, right? She's telling you how it's going to be. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And was this aggressive language to you?
Yes.
How'd that make you feel?
I mean, honestly, submissive and hopeless.
Do you believe or do you feel that this is demeaning?
It's definitely demeaning. You are saying that you are a failure as a father is very direct and it's hurtful.
Is this common? Does she do this often?
Yes.
Do you have any other examples?
Yes.
Let me ask this question. Is this type of aggressive behavior and language replete in your Our Family Wizard messages?
I don't know if I know the word replete. I'm sorry.
Go to page 1307.
Okay.
You there?
I'm there.
Message dated 9/9/24 at 6:03 p.m. starting with your failure, or excuse me, you failure. Do you see it? Near the bottom.
Yes.
Would you read that, please?
You failure of the father. He asked 5 times where you were and just called you and you didn't answer. I am not delivering him to you. Get off your couch and come get him. You had the info for a week and today again. And then there was a subsequent FaceTime where I answered responded, and she said the same thing again. While time, she was yelling at me, calling me a liar, and then she screamed again, "Your failure as a father, and he's not a failure of a father, you are." And so yes, it's common. It's common, and it's common around.
So she talks that way to you in front of the child? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
How does that?
Well, he's very upset. I mean, very upset. Generally, he's defensive of me, and then he's also confused.
Does Miss dictate what you can do with your time?
Yes, of course.
Flip to Bates page 1313_1. 1313_1. Are you there?
Yes.
So message starting on 9/22. Starting at 9/22/24 at 6:59 p.m. Do you see that? It's near the top of the page. The paragraph is here. See
Yes.
it? Read the next messages on to the bottom of the page, please.
So, Ms. as in probably here for pickup, and I wrote back, he's upset, give us a minute. Ms. He's got presents at home. She wrote again, are you finishing a video game? I said, I think he's excited about the presents, just give him a little bit. No, we're lying on the couch with no devices. And then she said, all right, well, I'm here, so let's go. And then she wrote, he doesn't have the distaste for me that you like to try and sell. It's been 15 minutes. You keeping him in there is you teaching him it's okay to let me or anyone else sit around. It's not. Send him outside now. That was his birthday, by the way.
That was his birthday.
Yes.
Were you purposefully withholding the child?
No.
What were you doing?
Honestly, I was trying to facilitate the exchange in some kind of way that I'm upset about the transition.
Did you appreciate the way that she demanded of you what you should be doing?
No.
Do you do that to her?
No.
Do you speak to her that way?
I don't think so.
Do you demean her in front of?
Definitely.
Has he attended therapy?
Yes.
When did he first start therapy? Do you recall?
I think he attended therapy with Dr. Monique in late 2021, 2020, and early 2022. And he started therapy with Shannon Smith shortly after the February 21st evidentiary hearing, maybe after that summer.
Do you know why in therapy with Dr. Monique, I believe her last name is Martinez Quiros.
Well, in large part because I disagreed with Dr. Monique in some way and just said she's not bringing him anymore. Meaning said that she's not going to bring him anymore.
To your knowledge, did she terminate the services with Dr. Monique?
Yes.
Did you want to see Dr. Monique?
Yes.
Were you okay with the fact that Ms. Farrelly terminated services with Dr. Monique?
No.
I think you testified that in therapy now, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And who, you said his therapist is Dr. Shannon Smith?
Yes, Shannon Smith.
Do you have an issue with therapy?
No.
Why not?